Welcome back to Box NC News. It's Slickback Beats Boy again. So returning to Sorensen v. Garoutte, the first court proceedings occurred yesterday. It started off with the attorneys of each side making their statements about how their respective clients aren't in the wrong. They moved on and had Mr. Sorensen himself on the stand. They asked him some simple questions about his driving etiquette and obedience to the rules, such as using his blinkers. Matthew claimed to have been driving to Inwood Donuts after a sleepover at a friend's house when he was rear-ended. The first major point of contention occurred when Matthew was literally exposed for withholding information in his police testimony. He told the police that his car was stopped when he was hit. However, he had actually been moving lanes at the time. They never returned to this topic, so we will see if the tribunal will ever explore this more. The defendant's attorney had an interesting strategy. He had asked Mr. Sorensen if he had apologized to Mr. Garoutte. He apparently believed that if Mr. Sorensen did apologize, he must have felt at fault for the incident. He must have really pulled at the heartstrings of the jury and Mr. Sorensen himself. They then moved on to question the local physics expert J.J. Tellez. Mr. Tellez had calculated that the speed of Mr. Garoutte before braking was 55 miles per hour and had slowed to 49 miles per hour before hitting Sorensen's Honda 2014 Accord. His calculation seemed in order because the bailiff was nodding approval throughout the entire presentation. He surely must have taken some kind of college-level physics course. However, he was soon questioned by another one of the defense attorneys. This time, the attorney explained to the court that the roads on the day of the crash would have been wet, thus decreasing the effectiveness of the braking and invalidating the calculations of Mr. Tellez. Tellez then defended himself by saying that his calculations depended on the length of the skid marks, which would not be affected by rain, because the skid marks are present from the initial braking and impact. The court then ended the session by talking to Zui Vuong, Mr. Sorensen's passenger. After pitifully limping into the stand, Vuong explained how neither of them were under the influence of substances and had both gotten plenty of sleep. Vuong had also made a point to say how he has always felt safe driving with Matthew Sorensen. After recalling the same story as Sorensen for the crash, the defense exposed Vuong for his contradictory reports and medical inspections. In Sorensen's testimony, he had said he hurt all over. In his medical inspection, he had received only leg and lumbar injuries. In the defense insurance examinations, they found no evidence of injury. Even more interesting is that Sorensen's report to the police only listed whiplash and tissue damage. However, according to Zui's testimony on trial, Zui had hurt his knee and never knew about his back injury somehow. We can as of now only speculate into what terrible festerings are brooding in this case. Will this be a proper show of justice or a faux display of it? Only time will tell. I'll see you next time on Box NC News. This is Slickback Beats Boy, signing off.